This is VOA News. I'm David Byrd. Turkey's defense ministry says its ground forces moved across the border to fight against Kurdish fighters in northeastern Syria. As Reuters' Matthew Larotonda reports, it came hours after Turkish jets and artillery pounded areas in Syria's northern border.
Turkey's President Tayyip Erdogan says his military is creating a safe zone clear of the Kurds, a place for refugees who fled Syria to resettle in. Also a buffer between Turkey and Kurdish fighters they consider terrorists. The Kurds are decrying the decision for U.S. troops to leave the area as a stab in the back after years spearheading Washington's efforts in Syria. And the SDF is now making overtures toward Moscow and the Syrian government in Damascus as the U.S. withdraws, a new chapter in the complicated tangle of alliances in this 8-year conflict.
That's Matthew Larotonda of Reuters. Both Democratic and Republican lawmakers, meanwhile, strongly criticized the U.S. pullout that paved the way for the Turkish operation. In an interview with Fox and Friends, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham says the United States should have stayed in northeastern Syria.
This is the pre-9/11 mentality that paved the way for 9/11. What's happening in Afghanistan is no concern to us. So if he follows through with this, it'd be the biggest mistake of his presidency.
At the White House, President Donald Trump repeated his threat to devastate Turkey's economy if President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's forces wipe out the Kurdish population.
We've told President Erdogan how we feel, but we are speaking to both sides and we're seeing what can be made out of a situation. But we have no soldiers in the area.
Mr. Trump has cast his decision as in line with his belief that the United States cannot be the world's policeman and must bring some of its troops home. This is VOA News. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden said Wednesday for the first time that President Donald Trump must be impeached for abusing the powers of his office to help his own reelection. AP's Sagar Meghani reports.
Biden's been at the center of the latest controversy, where the president asked Ukraine's leader to do him a favor and investigate the former vice president and his son.
He's shooting holes in the Constitution
by asking foreign powers to interfere in the 2020 race.
He's already convicted himself in full view of the world and the American people.
The president responded within 15 minutes, tweeting it's pathetic to see Biden calling for impeachment, adding Joe's failing campaign gave him no other choice. Sagar Meghani at the White House.
A heavily armed assailant ranting about Jews tried to force his way into a synagogue in Halle, Germany on Yom Kippur, Judaism's holiest day. As Reuters' Emily Wither reports, the man then shot 2 people to death in an attack that was streamed live online.
The shooting happened in the eastern German city of Halle. According to German media, a hand grenade was also thrown into a Jewish cemetery and shots fired into a kebab bistro. Police say they are looking for suspects who fled the scene and are asking citizens to remain in their homes. A second shooting incident was reported in nearby Landsberg. The attack happened on Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year in Judaism, when Jews fast for more than 24 hours seeking atonement.
That's Emily Wither of Reuters. 3 scientists won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry for their invention of lithium-ion rechargeable batteries. Reuters correspondent Gracie Jerome reports.
The men behind the lithium-ion batteries we use in everything from phones to cars to pacemakers have won a Nobel Prize for their work.
The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences has today decided to award the 2019 Nobel Prize in Chemistry jointly to John B. Goodenough, M. Stanley Whittingham, and Akira Yoshino.
Their rechargeable battery laid the foundation of wireless electronics like mobile phones and laptops. It's also used in electric cars and for storing energy from renewable sources, making a fossil-free world possible.
That's Gracie Jerome of Reuters. And a U.S. counterterrorism analyst at the Defense Intelligence Agency was arrested Wednesday for allegedly leaking top-secret documents to 2 journalists. Henry Kyle Freeze is accused of divulging secret material on North Korea's weapons systems to 2 reporters, one of whom he was dating at the time. For more, visit our website. I'm David Byrd, VOA News.